to get this up and going. So we're going to call the meeting to order, the Town Council meeting for the Town of Holiday Island, January 19th, 2021. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
It'll make me stand.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wes, would you call the roll?
Yes. Councilmember Dumas.
Here.
Councilmember Elwood.
Here.
Councilmember Graves.
Here.
Councilmember Mills.
Here.
Councilmember Goodman.
Here.
All here and accounted for.
All right, I declare a quorum. Do we have any comments on the agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Dumas.
Lynn seconded. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We have minutes from the special meeting on January 7th to approve. Are there any comments, corrections to the minutes as distributed? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we approve those minutes.
Move to approve the minutes. I'll second it.
Jerry moved to approve the minutes. Pat seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Ceremonials, recognitions, proclamations, and memoriam. I'd like to mention that Nita Hawley's husband, Don, passed away. Don wasn't quite as familiar maybe to all of us as Nita, but Nita, anybody that spent any amount of time at all in this room knows that Nita was on the Board of Commissioners for years. Very, very important person in the Fire Department Auxiliary, and her husband Don will be missed. They request that instead of flowers or cards, that donations be made to the Holiday Island Fire Department Auxiliary. Any other announcements or recognition? If not, we can move on to reports. Linda has got some information to bring us up to speed on the IT workshop.
Somebody is saying something.
I just got a text from my wife saying somebody's got their TV on and it's making it hard
Oh,
to hear.
really?
So there's an external microphone needs muted.
I'll mute somebody or ask them to mute here. Looks like everybody's muted now. Oops, there's one more. Okay. I think we're okay. So, you want me to talk about the IT meeting?
Yeah.
The notes I sent out to everybody? Did everybody get the notes from the meeting?
Yes.
Well, one thing I would like to suggest, having watched the BOC meeting this morning from home on Zoom, if the people aren't sitting close to their mic and kind of talking right into their mic, you can't hear them. Dale Kellison was kind of leaning back in the chair and couldn't really hear anything that he was saying. So if you want to be heard, get close to the mic.
So, we talked about internet. You want me to just kind of go through and summarize what we talked about? We talked about getting internet service from Cox And I think we're initially going to go with a 25 megabyte service that we got the estimate for, and if we need to upgrade to 50 meg, we'll do it later. And I talked to him, and that seemed like that would be certainly possible to do, no problem. The phone service, I think we kind of liked the Ring Central solution because it offered us one central number that people could dial into, and then it would route to either Wes or Dan, or could even route to some other numbers perhaps. And I've got a request in for a little bit more information on all that. And they also gave me a new quote. If we paid the first year all at one time, we could get a discount on the first year perhaps. So that might be of interest. We can discuss it more. I still don't know how much data it uses on a personal cell phone when you're using the app, but hope to find out. And also, since Verizon offers a very similar type application, I've got a request out for a little bit more information from them. Also, I found out one of the questions that Wes had asked was whether you could fax with a VoIP line. So you really need a landline. I asked Verizon that question. They told me that if you used their VoIP service, you really needed to get a landline. And so I think they offered a landline for $18 a month, that would just do faxing, I think he said. So that might be an option we look into, if you really feel like you need to fax.
Well, I did see, in looking through, I think, the Freedom of Information packet, that one of the ways people can submit to request for information is by fax. And I think then we could respond by fax too.
Possibly.
And I think last time when we talked about this, there was a question, well, what did I use for fax? Well, a lot of times I can fax to the IRS to respond. When I was submitting reports to the Arkansas Ethics, one option was to fax. So, things like that.
Well, 18 isn't too much.
Yep.
I'm
I'll tell
hearing
Linda.
somebody on there.
Yeah, this is-
Linda, there's people waiting to be let in.
Mr. Mayor,
They're saying no
Holly
sound.
Westcott just came on and said that the audio has been off since the Pledge of Allegiance.
Really?
And there's quite a few people that are unmuted, and I can barely hear them over this computer.
Yeah?
Got a lot of background noise, but Holly says the volume's been off since Pledge. Now, there is a thing on the screen here that says unmute myself, and I don't want to click it.
I thought I had you unmuted. Webcam should be
Now, it says
unmuted.
the host has spotlighted your video for everyone.
Oh, okay, unmuted.
Okay.
That should do it.
Ask for someone to give you a high sign physically, a thumbs up. Can they hear it now?
All I can see is the council.
Okay.
Can anybody hear? He heard you, Sherman heard you, Dumas,
Okay.
and she hears me, so I guess
Okay.
they're hearing
So
now.
audio's going out.
So I think it's a matter of, that was unmuted. That's why, yeah, I guess I didn't go back over there and unmute it, because I sent the request to the computer. I have to request the computer to unmute
Which you can-
yourself. And you did, so we're fine.
Okay.
Thank you. And we apologize that people couldn't hear. We're in a discussion right now, and everything's on the recording, so if anyone needs it. But we're in a discussion right now of the report on the IT workshop, and I'm going through the notes that I sent out to the council members. Someone wants to be admitted. Hold on. Oh, I got quite a few people want to be admitted. Hang on. Now, let's see. Joining. Okay. Okay, I think I got all the people. Now.
And Linda, you may want to mute some people on there. People can hear other people's TVs.
Okay. It would be helpful if you would mute yourself if you're listening in on Zoom until you're acknowledged to speak. Looks like everybody's, for the most part, muted. Al's phone needs to be muted. Okay, I think we got it now. Okay, so we'll talk more about the faxing and that cost too, see how that factors into everything. The email, the IONUS was a very robust option, and also the IT in a Box has a competing email that does everything that IONUS does. They will do the archival, the search for emails, for FOIA requests, and in fact, probably more completely than IONUS does, except that their cost is extremely high for what we can afford this first year. So I don't think we'll be going with them, but...
Linda, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Please do, no problem.
Larry has got his TV on and needs to be muted.
Yeah, he was the one I couldn't mute for some reason. Larry, if you're out there, can you mute yourself?
Jeanette Sullivan just said somebody has an unmuted mic.
Can y'all can see who's muted and who's not, can't you?
Bill Noonan's not muted.
Okay. Larry, I tried there. Let me try to mute him again. Okay, I
Larry
think I muted
muted.
Larry now. He seems to keep unmuting.
Looks good now.
Looks good? Okay, let's try that. We'll go on. Thank you. Please speak up if you hear something. Okay, so on email, it looked like IONUS was good. We have a resolution to put before the board today about signing up for an email provider.
No, they cannot hear anything again.
What? Good Lord. Okay, hang on. Can't hear anything. Where is the... Oh. Okay, I'm asking to unmute you. I don't know why it keeps going back, reverting. Can you unmute that machine, Lawrence?
Yes, I can, and Larry has been unmuted again as well.
I don't know
So we have
why.
the TV background noise.
Don't know why.
You may have to just remove Larry.
Okay. If it happens again, I'm removing him. Okay, now we're good. Thank you. Okay. IT support services, again, IT in a Box was our best option, but I don't think we can go there. I do have a call in and have talked once to the guy at Megabyte, but I need a call back from him to get a contract or a proposal from him. I did find out what HICID is paying, and that's possibly something we could use. And HICID is pretty happy with their services. We talked about computers. Everyone seemed to be in favor of getting an i7 for Wes and an i5 laptop for Dan, and the software that was described in the discussion document. And then we discussed that both of them had used HP machines in the past and possibly would be an alternative to consider. I think Ken Mills is still interested in us comparing Dells and HPs to get a best price.
Depends on the cost.
Speak into the mic if you want to be heard.
Depends on the cost. I think they're probably
They should be equivalent virtually.
I just had better luck with Dell, but HP, when I was working, I bought a lot of HP equipment, and I highly recommend them for laser printers.
We'll price compare them.
Okay.
Okay, printers, everyone thought we should go with the lower cost HP color laser printer that still has fairly good speed for black and white and costs quite a bit less.
That was printer one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was printer one, but there were two cost points. One was $450 and the other was $600, so it's the $450 one. Yes, Lawrence?
People are wanting to be admitted.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, got them. Thank you. And with the printer, the printers, the HP color laser printer will scan a legal-sized document, but you can't do it on the flatbed. You have to do it with the ADF. So I did find that out. Accounting software, I think we agreed that we wanted to purchase CSA software. It may not be in the next month or two because we have no money. Down the road, before Wes has to do a report, I would hope. And the website, we talked about the website. Everyone agreed that we should have a website presence as soon as possible, even if it was something we did ourselves. And it would be very helpful in communicating with the public, I think. I did draft a resolution to get a domain name for the town, and so we'll be going over that resolution shortly. I think we'll use Wix to create at least an initial temporary website, and then later, maybe toward the end of the year, as we work on the budgets for the town and for HICID, we can consider a more robust long-term solution, possibly merging the HICID and the town's website, and that would be a subject for discussion by both the town and HICID. The question was asked whether it was the displayed name or the URL itself that affects the search engine optimization, and it is the URL itself, not what's displayed. And sometimes what's displayed comes up differently depending upon how you search for it. So, data storage, we need probably a few terabytes, and I think we decided that we wanted to use USB connected rather than network connected for security reasons. And we'll also assess backing up to a cloud in addition to some USB connected devices for storage. So that's all we had in that discussion. Do I have any questions, any further comments?
Are you going to put this in one summary document with, leaving out all the options. Just say that
Eventually.
this is what we're going to do for
Yeah, that would be
internet, this is what we're going to do
That
for
would be
phone.
the plan after we make further decisions. Maybe you and Wes and me make further decisions, okay?
All right.
Linda, I might comment, there was discussion at the last meeting about the fact that a change in their domain name might have on where you come up on the internet when somebody goes in to look, and I read an article, and maybe I
I think you forwarded it to
that
me, yes.
to you, that is a concern if a company has been on the internet a long time and changes their domain name, they may go down to the bottom.
Yeah. So it is an advantage to keep the same domain name that people know, so. So we'll talk about that more, and so we can wait and discuss the resolutions when they come up later.
Okay.
Mr. Blood has his hand
Oh,
raised.
Mr. Blue.
I have a report from Holly that she can barely hear anybody, and apparently the microphones in front of the people are not working. This microphone here with the camera may be too far away.
I think it is, yeah.
Holly, can you hear me now?
Right, she said it's not plugged into the camera, it's not plugged into the system, so you're sounding very, very far away.
Yeah.
So if it pleases you, I can move the camera to whoever's talking.
If you want to do that, great. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be
It'll
fine.
just take me a second to relocate everything.
And then we'll have to move this wire to that device?
Well, I never could figure out how to get it connected and hear the sound. We could
Oh.
try it.
You have one or two ports in here, Linda.
Ports, there's the 3.5 inch plug port on the, Right side.
On my computer, I have actually two ports. One
that's
for my-
a combo headphone mic port
Okay.
for a headset.
Should we make a motion for a brief recess? Just, do we need a motion for a brief recess?
Well, we get I don't know if we need to recess.
That may
I don't-
help the mic situation because it's in the middle of the room now.
And I'll do my best to turn the camera on whoever's speaking.
Yeah, we have a
For me.
cameraman now.
He'll
By
send
next
it.
Yeah.
meeting- By next meeting, we hope to have a boom, so he can zero in right on everybody, and
When are we gonna get some makeup and producer?
When are we gonna get
Maybe a
tech- When are we
choreographer.
gonna get tech support? That's what I want to know.
When are we gonna
Alright.
be able to take the mask off so we can talk?
Yeah.
I just got a comment from Dale, I can hear well.
Oh, okay.
Good for him.
Good for him.
good. Okay, anything else on IT? I think we're zeroing in on what we want to do. As soon as we have some money, we'll be ready to pull the trigger on it.
Money.
Let's see, Wes, can you give us a little status on where we are with the treasurer's office?
Yes. After our last meeting, there was a question raised, would we, if we have to wait a couple of months down the road to get turnback funds, will they be retroactive to December 3rd? And I asked the treasurer's office, and the response that I got was no. There might be a question to that. I don't know. Then I was told that, I contacted GIS, and we got population numbers from GIS. We got their estimate, which is, I think it was 2,260. But then they also gave a high estimate and a low estimate. The high estimate, everyone in a block which was divided by the boundary, if everybody in that block was included, I think it ended up 2,370. And if they excluded everybody that was in a divided block, it was substantially lower. But their estimate, where they prorated, they would take blocks that were divided by a boundary. And I guess they gave us a spreadsheet, and there are some that when they prorated people, somehow in those blocks it ended up 2,260. Now, so I provided that to the treasurer's office. The state treasurer said, oh, but they needed the information from the Bureau of Census, which when I conveyed that to GIS, they seemed to be somewhat surprised at that. And the treasurer went on, they said, I think that wherever this information comes from the Bureau of Census, oh, that could be next year before they'd have that. And that we wouldn't get any turnback funds until then. So then I responded, well, are cities receiving turnback funds now, or are they having to wait till the new census comes out? And the response I got, well, no, they're getting funds now based on the 2010 census. So I think it was probably about that point I went back and I included GIS in on our conversation. So then this Wheeler, I think is the lady's name at GIS, called. I talked to her, and then she and the treasurer's office are now corresponding. And I think, Dan, you pointed out the problem that if we had to wait till 2022 for funds, we wouldn't have any money this year. And that got some attention. And so now the treasurer and the GIS are talking to each other, and they said, well, we'll communicate and give us a couple of days and we'll see if there's a workaround to get around this problem. So that's, and I didn't hear anything today. They may not have been working yesterday. I think that was Friday when I got that response.
They seem to be interested in coming up with a workaround. They didn't seem to be, trying to, skirt the issue or anything. I think they clearly understand the predicament. This isn't the kind of thing that happens every day in Arkansas where a new town or city is formed. So,
well, this Ms. Wheeler at the GIS quoted a couple of sections of Arkansas law, and she pointed out that Arkansas law doesn't say that it has to be based on the Bureau of Census numbers. And it does say that the funds are to be distributed to the cities by the 10th day after the end of the month, period. That's what it says. So.
okay. So we're kind of crossing our fingers, waiting for a response, hopefully this week. If we don't hear something, obviously we'll continue to follow up with them so that they don't drop the ball. Pat and Wes are kind of both working a little bit on the same project of insurance, which ties into our membership at the Municipal League. So I added to the agenda here, if you'll pardon me doing that, to have Pat and maybe Wes give us a little update on what you found about insurance.
Okay, well, as you know, they were pretty busy last week, and then yesterday was ML Day, Martin Luther King Day, so I did spend some time on the phone with Lanny Richmond, an attorney, this morning or this afternoon, just before this meeting, so I didn't have a chance to write anything up. Basically, once we join, I think as everybody realizes, once we join the municipal league, then we'll get the defense, and that's going to take care of almost all of our legal liability issues. There isn't really any general liability issues. I went over some aspects of Arkansas law, and municipal immunity is pretty strong in Arkansas compared to most other states. We do need an inland marine policy. They're going to send me some information on that. They do have a property program. Of course, we don't need any inland marine until we buy something, but eventually we will need that to protect our computers and information storage, et cetera, et cetera. So he's going to get me some of that information. I was most concerned about officers and directors. Lanny didn't seem to think there was really much exposure, but he was going to talk to a couple other people around, and we're going to discuss that because that's a concern of mine. You know, with my background, I'm a little paranoid about lawsuits. He said he's going to put together a memo for us in a couple of days. We're free to contact him. We can't join the municipal league until we get, again, some money, but he's going to find out exactly what that would cost us. I gave him some estimates of the population because their invoice is going to be based on that, but he said they'll be happy to give us legal advice until we get there because he knows that's the direction we're going. So that's basically it. We're so much different than most of the cities around that our exposures are not the same. We don't need workers' comp or health or business auto or any of that stuff. He said he'd be happy to go over with me anytime we had a possible liability situation come up, like we hired a contractor to do something. I'm really familiar with indemnity agreements. That's kind of what I did for an insurance company for years, but he's an attorney, and most liabilities that would come up could be dealt that way rather than insurance, and that's basically it. But I'll have a full report. We'll get with Wes for the next meeting, I'm sure.
Okay. Somewhere along the line, we need a clear understanding of the membership dues, because Wes was given a number, but Ken and I both think that that's just the basic membership. We're not convinced that that includes the liability blanket.
Well, that's one of the things I talked to him about. He's going to talk to a couple other people there to get us a better idea what that would cost, not only our dues, and they would invoice us for it. It's a fairly informal procedure to get into that, to get into the Mutual Defense League, but he's going to get all that for us, so we should have it by February. And like I said, we don't have any money yet anyway, so we couldn't do it. But we should have that by next time, unless Wes has anything else to add to that.
Well, I had talked to Lori, I think it was Lori Shearer was her name, this afternoon, and she gave me a number, an estimate of what the dues is. She said it's $40 plus 35 cents per person, a citizen. And she gave me just an initial estimate, which was like $832.
That does seem a little low, but...
And it sounds like, there may be different modules or something that you can purchase, and this might be just the basic dues. And she even said, she offered that those dues might not be due until next year.
Okay. Well, Lanny, being an attorney, knows all the legal aspects, but he wasn't really familiar with that, and he said he'll get us all that information that we need, and we'll have that, and I'll give you a call when I get it. He said he'll try to email it to me in a couple of days.
Okay. We're learning as we go.
Is that not the truth?
Going.
I think your idea, Dan, of getting a quote of what the different modules are, I don't know whether
Lanny was gonna do that, or, but you can get that there's a director down there that's, finance, that's who I talked to. And it came out around $6,000, but that includes, you know, the, lawyer protection and consultation stuff, so.
Yeah, we'll get that breakdown from them.
Dan,
Yes?
did I hear at that conference we sort of attended, when Cox was up and running, that the training for the clerk, Wes, was $1,000 or something? Do you have to pay for that training, Wes?
That is probably that program where they have where you attend, you know, various events, like there were 6 or 8 at this winter conference. And there are other training sessions throughout the year, and you can become a certified clerk or a certified council member or whatever. And I think, yes, there could have been a fee for that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but maybe what you're talking about is that becoming a certified city clerk, recorder, or a certified council member, or a certified member, mayor. They have all these different things that they offer.
When I talked to that IT in a box guy, he said he couldn't stress enough how important it was for the clerk treasurer to go through this training, to understand how we needed to set everything up. So, and I thought I heard something like $995 for like 5 days or something. I could be wrong, but anyway.
But I think they said they've had all of these various certifications available,
Yeah.
and it's just in the last few years that they've added a certification for the clerk recorders and treasurers.
Okay, moving on then to, I didn't list any old business on the agenda, but there is a spot for old business, so I'm going to bring this up here. In the last meeting, there was some discussion about needing to appoint a vice mayor if, in case I'm not here. And I did a little research on that, and Arkansas Statute 1445-107, presiding officer of the council, and this is under the clerk, it says, a mayor or in case of his or her absence, the recorder treasurer shall preside at all meetings of the town council. The recorder treasurer shall also be and act as clerk of the town. And it goes on to explain the duties of the clerk. And then in section B, it says, in the absence of the mayor and recorder treasurer from any meeting of the council shall have the power to appoint any two of their number to perform the duties of mayor and recorder treasurer for the time being. So I don't believe that I need to appoint a vice mayor, because it clearly, I think, states that if I'm not here, Wes runs the meeting. If neither Wes nor I are here, then you guys get together and appoint somebody to run the meeting and appoint somebody to take the minutes.
And that's why in statutes, it says the mayor can vote. So if one of us was taking the role of mayor in that meeting, we would be able to vote. Okay.
Okay, so just to clarify that. Let's see, then going on to new business. Lynn, the first one on the list here is something you brought up.
Yes. There's a procedural issue that I think we need to address. I follow the Municipal League's magazine articles published in City and Town. And the December 2020 issue gives us guidance for a reminder to all city councils regarding the first council meeting of 2021. So I believe that's something we need to take care of. It cites the statute ACA 1443-501. In that statute, in Section A, Paragraph 1, the members of a governing body elected for each city or town shall annually in January assemble and organize the governing body. That's the instruction that we need to do it on an annual basis. And then in Section 2, Paragraph B.I., it says, the governing body shall judge the election returns and the qualifications of its own members. So I don't know where that language really comes from, and we've done some investigation, don't find a lot of guidance on it, but it probably comes and modeled after the federal government judging the votes from the Electoral College. But nonetheless, I think we have a duty here. So I can make these factual statements that our Recorder Treasurer, Wes Stilley, has received the certification of election for each official from the County Election Commission, and on the fact that they have all been sworn into office, and not having heard any objections to their qualifications, those facts would constitute an affirmative judgment on the election returns. Are there any corrections to our understanding of my facts from anyone?
No, sounds good.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion then. I so move that the election held November 3, 2020 of the Town of Holiday Island officials of mayor, recorder treasurer, and 5 council members be judged by this council as accepted.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We have been judged.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
By ourselves.
All right, Resolution 2021-011, domain name and email service.
Does anybody need a copy of it?
No, got it.
You got it? Okay.
Wes, you want to read the resolution?
Yes, it is.
It's the resolution authorizing the Town of Holiday Island to acquire a unique domain name.
That's what I thought. I'm sure I got it. I think it's good.
Pass this down to him. That's the one that he signed, I think.
Okay, Resolution 2021-011. A resolution authorizing the Town of Holiday Island to acquire a unique domain name. Whereas the Town of Holiday Island has been recently incorporated and will need a domain name in order to establish its unique presence on the internet and email identity through the specific set of email addresses established for the business affairs of the town. And whereas whether or not this domain name is utilized for a specific website established for the town, it will benefit the town to have the town's email addresses reflect a unique domain name and identify the email as originating from the town government. And whereas the acquisition of a domain name identifying the town's affairs is required immediately for establishment of town's email addresses, and whereas the domain name proposed for the town is cityofholidayisland.com, and whereas the cost of establishing and maintaining the domain name such as proposed above is typically less than $20 per year, and whereas the acquisition of the domain name immediately would forever and permanently reserve that name for the town and future city's use, not be resolved by the Town Council of Holiday Island that the mayor is authorized to purchase a domain name for the town as proposed above. Passed and approved by the Town Council of Holiday Island, Arkansas on this date of 1/19/2021.
Is there, can I have a motion to place this on the floor for consideration?
I so move.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? No, none opposed?
You might want to say for the record who did the motion and who seconded it, just because
Okay.
I know Barb had problems last time
All right.
figuring that out.
Who did?
Linda and I.
Lynn,
Linda
I
made the
moved.
motion and
Yeah.
Lynn seconded it.
Yep.
All right, is there any discussion on this resolution?
Mr. Mayor, I guess I'm a little confused. We had talked about our domain of possibly being a .gov or a .us, and this says .com.
I threw that in there just as what we could have. If you want to change it, that we can do that in the discussion.
Well, I mean, if it's just a placeholder for what it might be,
I thought we could amend it during our discussion if we choose to amend it.
Is there a preference?
well, it was my opinion, I thought we kind of had a preference at the workshop last week for security and just a little bit of prestige. I don't know, prestige is not the right word, but I thought we were kind of leaning towards a .gov or a .us.
There wasn't a clear preference in the discussion. It was brought up that it did have some advantages, but that .com also had advantages because it's used everywhere and by a whole lot of other cities and towns. So, we could go either way. .com costs less than $20 a year, costs virtually nothing to set it up. .gov costs $400 a year, and every year thereafter $400.
Yeah, I thought we kind of ruled out .gov because I didn't really see very many towns, at least our size, using the .gov. .us, I think it doesn't make any difference if it's whatever gets the job done for the least amount of money.
As Jerry said, .gov does have the credibility of being a real government, whereas .com doesn't necessarily, but I think if you're saying you're the city of Holiday Island.com, you're gonna, with most people, you will have that same level of
Yeah,
credibility.
It's recognizable as being the city website.
And I really, when I did some research this past week, I really couldn't find, other than the fact that you have to apply for it through the government and they have to agree that you are a real city government before you get it, there's no other real security thing about it.
Well, at
It
this
does
point-
require you to have SSL security on your website, but we would do that on whatever website we created anyway.
At this point, all we're really gambling is $20, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can always change it
True.
later on if we find that there's an advantage.
You definitely could, and by securing City of Holiday Island right away, you'd prevent anyone else from getting it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem in this day and age, that, people go out there and gobble up domain names
Yeah, and then you
just
have
so that they can turn them around and sell it back to
Ransom,
you
yeah.
for a fortune. So, I'm good with the cityofholidayisland.com, as a placeholder. at
Yeah,
least.
I was going to say, even if you decided to do a .gov, I would get the City of HolidayIsland.com anyway, just to protect it. So,
Rebecca Sherman had a comment, but I don't,
let's see.
it went away before I got to read it.
It says,
Can you choose your chat?
anybody see what they're
Yeah.
saying out there?
Okay, she said, why are you not using the state? Once you buy it, forever pay, or someone else can buy it.
I don't understand.
No, the .gov address is basically reserved for us until we apply for it. That can't be taken by any other municipality.
That was
That's
part
right.
of the discussion
Right.
last week
Yeah.
of the reason to do that.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I would think based on the projected cost, I would think we could go ahead and go with the .com until we find that we have a real need for that kind of venue.
All right, are we ready for a vote?
Oh, I think maybe Rebecca was saying that the convention might be that you have to stick the two-letter state after the name of the city is some convention they force on you, because she said Fayetteville had Fayetteville AR.
Well, yeah, that's true, because there's a Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
There's Fayetteville all over the place. I don't know that there's that many Holiday Islands, but there could be.
There's Holiday Island in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah, I looked it up on searching for Holiday Island at one point in time, there's one.
Any other discussion on the domain name?
We're gonna add the AR to it.
We
No,
don't need it on the .com, that's only on the .gov.
it's better not to have it, I think, but that complicates it for people.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Question for Linda. I know it's ahead in their agenda, but if we go to an email service and we want our emails associated with our address, it might mean that my email address would be lindumas.cityofholidayisland or @cityofholidayisland. How would that look?
At cityofholidayisland.com.
Okay, all right.
That's how that would look.
Okay.
And if we want to do emails right away, that's why we need a domain name right away.
Right, okay.
I guess the open question then is, do we want to add AR onto City of Holiday Island?
We need it for any...
Lawrence, you have some experience. Doesn't the district use .AR? Don't they have AR on there?
We just use .us.
I mean, in the name, though, how is it?
holidayisland.us.
But I thought, okay. Fine.
I believe there is a holidayislandar.com without a city that maybe is owned by HIDC maybe or something. I'm not positive, but I think there is one out
Or
there.
if you search on Holiday Island, you get a bunch of them. I mean,
But I prefer we go with just cityofholidayisland.com personally.
And if there already is a City of Holiday Island,
There is not.
they won't give...
There is not.
There is none.
I checked it
Okay.
this morning.
Well, let's just go with this then. All right?
Are you ready for the motion to approve?
Yes.
I'll move that we approve the resolution 2021-011 as read by Wes.
I'll second.
All right, Linda made a motion to approve the resolution. Pat seconded it. Any further discussion? Wes, I think this requires the roll call vote.
you got the name.
Councilmember Dumas.
Aye.
Councilmember Cullen.
Aye.
Councilmember Grace.
Aye.
Councilmember Mills.
Aye.
Councilmember Griffin.
Nay.
Linda,
Yes.
you have several people unmuted and it's going to be background noise.
Okay, thank you.
Is that everybody?
Yes.
4 yes and
Four yes, one no.
the motion carries. All right, moving on to agenda. Well, the next resolution, this one is being proposed by Linda also. Resolution number 2021-012, a resolution authorizing the town of Holiday Island to establish a contract with an email provider. Do I have a motion to place this on the floor for discussion?
Make a motion, we place it on the floor.
Second.
Ken made the motion, Lynn seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Wes, would you read the resolution?
Resolution number 2021-012. A resolution authorizing the town of Holiday Island to establish a contract with an email provider. Whereas the town of Holiday Island has been recently incorporated and will need a set of unique email addresses for town officials and any employees or individuals doing specific work on behalf of the municipality. And whereas the use of personal addresses and multiple email systems employed for personal email by these individuals would cause commingling of their business and personal email, as well as allow potential permanent deletion of municipal business emails. And whereas the use of new and separate email addresses for these individuals under a new domain name created specifically for the municipality would clearly identify the email addresses as originating from the municipality and the contents as dealing with the business of the municipality. And whereas the use of new and separate email addresses would enable a more efficient and accurate means for search and retrieval of emails dealing with specific municipal business matters. And whereas the municipality will require the ability to permanently preserve all incoming and outgoing emails to or from town officials or dealing with the business of the municipality, a robust ability to search and retrieve emails based on specific criteria in order to address certain FOIA Freedom of Information Act requests from the public on a timely basis, and the ability to locally administer the assignment and deletion of email addresses under the domain name of the municipality. And whereas the town of Holiday Island desires to use an email system that meets the above requirements, now be it resolved by the Town Council of Holiday Island that the mayor is authorized to negotiate a contract with an email provider that meets the requirements cited above. The contract must be approved by the Town Council before signing. Passed and approved by the Town Council of Holiday Island, Arkansas on this date of 01/19/2021.
Mr. Mayor, sorry, Wes, you guys may have to do that all over. We lost connectivity.
You're right, it's connecting.
Oh.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
At first, we lost the camera, because it only shows the top of your head from your device, Linda,
Really?
and then we lost everything.
Okay. And we're still
So,
waiting.
from our experience, do the outside Zoom users, are they disconnected? Or is it their meeting still run and just waits for our reconnect?
Who
From my
knows?
experience at home, they're probably just waiting
Okay,
for our reconnect because this has happened to me before.
Okay.
Good. Did anyone see it?
I know.
Showing me.
Wes, do you have, never mind, you got them. I'll take these back to Linda. She sent these down for you, but you got your copies.
Is the Zoom meeting still on? Can you see us?
Last week's municipal league forum, the IT guy was talking about
My wife says
one of the
that
first
we're out,
things that you
so
need
it's
to be
probably
sure
a
of when
top
you're
spot
setting
on
up
the
a Zoom
internet.
meeting
Is she
is
there
that
with
you
other
have a
people?
reliable
No, she's
internet
watching.
Oh,
connection
she's,
or
her
Wi-Fi
is out
connection.
Yes.
too.
And just as he was saying that, my Wi-Fi dropped out.
So I have convert meeting right to recording and an unknown error occurred.
Okay, okay, Hi Sid says no internet. So we don't have any internet,
We lost our internet.
totally. Yep,
We've been having a tremendous amount of trouble with Cox lately.
yeah,
Every day.
lately,
We have
very
two.
bad.
I don't either.
You don't have any trouble with Cox?
Nope.
Oh, man, we're always having trouble with it.
You must not.
Our TV drops out in the middle of the programs.
Yeah, right in the middle of the playoff football games Sunday.
No.
Yeah.
It's stable for us on the island.
Well,
Which,
technically, I don't think we have any choice but to adjourn.
Well,
Well, do we have to
I'm
adjourn?
trying to get back in.
No.
Let's see.
Dan, do we have to adjourn? When I have this recording capturing the meeting audio.
That's true, that's true.
We're doing the best we can with the technology we
That's
have.
what the lawyer said at that Zoom meeting Friday or Thursday, whatever, that try to record the best you can.
So
So
You've got the recording.
the fact that you don't have a live audience won't
Well, he
matter?
didn't go into that.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not sure it's a matter of recording it. I think it's a matter of this being a public meeting.
that's true.
And it's no longer a public meeting.
It wouldn't let me get back on.
it shows,
Well,
it just shows it's available.
Back to our service, well, we've got 150 megabyte service.
Wow.
for
Kicked out
internet,
of it.
And I've
I mean,
done
I'm
a
not
speed
signed
check
into it,
on
I'm
it,
just
it's
showing.
162 or
well, the modem
Right.
might still be.
You don't need that
Oh,
high.
okay.
I only have 50 and I don't have any
We
problems.
could set up a
It's a lot
special
cheaper.
meeting later in the week to continue the
It
rest
sounds
of
cheaper,
this.
But I'm
rest of the
uploading tax
business.
returns and downloading software
We
and
lost our
stuff.
internet.
I'll bet your upload speed is still
I said we
12
could set
megabyte,
up a
isn't it?
special meeting
Does
later in the
anybody
week.
know?
Oh, it
to
is 12,
try
okay.
and
Because that's the only advantage.
My
you
wife-
have
do the rest
is-
of the business
'cause
on
mine's
the
set at
agenda.
4.
It's
and that's
all
you get
tied.
till you
My
get to
wife
the
just called and
150
said
package. Okay.
that
I'm not trying to.
it's cable, internet, the whole ball of wax.
Oh, cable TV too?
Yeah. Well, if you're internet based.
Oh, okay.
So, do we have to adjourn, or can we continue and record it? Does anybody know?
That's a,
No.
Dan's opinion is we'd have to adjourn because it's not a public meeting.
yeah.
No, because I have Holly Westcott, I'm texting with her right now, so should I tell her that we're adjourning?
Yeah,
Tell her we'll schedule a separate meeting.
Because of the loss of our connectivity to the
Special
public,
meeting later.
2-hour notice on that? Okay.
somebody want to text Barb?
I already did.
You did?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He said, oh no.
Ask her if she has internet,
Oh, shit.
because she lives up at the entrance.
You have internet, question.
And if she can tell us where we lost it, so we know where to pick up.
Well, we can start this resolution all over, I think. we
Yeah, as
were-
long as we got the last vote recorded. Yeah.
Barb Kuhn says she has internet.
Okay, must be down here then.
I bet you I'd have it at home, too.
All right, I'll entertain a motion that we adjourn and call a special meeting. When do we want to call the special meeting? Let's do that before we adjourn.
Yeah.
When do we need?
I can't do it tomorrow.
When do we need this resolution?
Thursday's okay with me.
Huh?
Oh, no, it didn't. If it's in the afternoon or evening, it's okay with me Thursday.
We'll have to change the dates on the document.
That's okay, that's easy.
Okay.
And we lost our internet while Wes was reading the resolution.
Okay, so we know where to start.
So Wes broke it.
So we pick up with that resolution.
Thursday evening would There's an oak meeting, but I can miss that.
Can we do it during the day? Because it's a special meeting?
I can't go in the morning, I can go in the afternoon.
We could do it at 1 probably.
I'd like to do it, yeah, just do it, but the only thing we committed to at night is
Our regular meetings.
regular meetings.
1 o'clock's okay
It's
with
just
me.
a hell of a lot easier to do it when we are.
Thursday at 1.
Yeah, is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Thursday at 1,
6:00 meetings are done.
good for everybody?
Huh?
Lawrence, is the room available Thursday at 1 PM?
It's not good, but it's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not good, but okay.
It's gonna be in the 50s Thursday afternoon,
Oh,
Golf,
so that's gonna cost me some
golf
money.
weather.
Well, I'll give you the 50 cents.
You have all morning to golf, it'll be in the 40s.
Wear a sweater.
But the guys I play golf with tee off at 12,
Yeah.
and they've got money.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
I'll move that we adjourn.
Second.
So, special meeting Thursday at 1?
Right. Right.
Are we gonna,
Who made a motion to adjourn?
I did.
Linda made a motion to adjourn, do I have a
Pat
second?
seconded.
I seconded, I'm trying to drink now.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.